All right, today I want to talk about something which has caught the eye of every Indian based on a global event that just transpired in Norway. A journalist heckled our Prime Minister and in fact said these exact same words to the Prime Minister when he was walking off the stage that would you like to speak to the freest journalism people in the world. And that was something which generated a lot of backlash, not only towards the way this journalist handled the situation or in fact heckled the Prime Minister, but also the statement whereby Norway calls itself a country that has the most free press. Well, just being free does not necessarily mean responsible. And Norway is a very, very small country. They are highly dependent on the European Union. They're highly dependent on a number of partners, including China and now India as well, to import some critical minerals as well as critical foods which are consumed over there. But that is not what I'm going to get into today. The debate that has raged is whether a country which has a population of a little over 4 million has any right to lecture a country with a population of 1.4 billion. Well, the logic is very simple. Your problems compared to our problems are very, very different. Your variety of people, the kind of culture and the languages of people are very different to what India has. And that is something that I felt that this journalist did not understand. I'm not going to get into whom she follows and what her ideology and leaning is, but the fact of the matter is whenever you make an assumption about a country or its press, it's very, very important to study, to try and understand and assimilate what the country has been doing in the last couple of decades. All right, there have been problems when it comes to press. The Prime Minister has not given interviews, but he has given interviews in the past and he does speak to journalists from time to time. That is perhaps a fact that this journalist forgot completely, and that is something which should be in fact remembered even for journalists who operate out of India as well. Secondly, what really shocked me about this entire episode was the fact that nobody from the Norwegian government came forth and sort of took offense to what this journalist said. The Prime Minister was, the guest of the leaders of Norway. And by that simple and plain logic, it should have been the responsibility of the government to say something to this journalist and in fact try and make her understand that her assumptions were absolutely incorrect. So this leaves us with a very, very important question that just being free give you the right to attack perhaps a country who's not as free as you are in terms of press? The answer is no. All these rankings and all these charts which are in fact made, they are based on certain parameters which necessarily may not apply to India. And that's exactly what this journalist also should remember. India has been independent for not very long. It's not even been 100 years. India is still an evolving country. Norway is fully industrialized and developed like the rest of the European Union. We still have 1.4 billion people to feed. Our problems are not your problems. Our worries are not your worries. And our situation and administrative load is definitely something that Norway could ever contemplate. The entire population of Europe does not compare to the kind of administrative challenges that India has to deal with. So pathologically, it's important to understand where a particular leader is coming from before in fact making such erroneous statements right in front of that leader. Thank you for watching.